we are in an ever-changing state of expanding consciousness. And there are caves inside of caves, even in that realm. So there is our singular consciousness, which would be you as an individual per se, or what you think is an individual. We'll get into that in more detail at some point in time. It's actually not true at all. We're all made out of one thing, which a lot of us know, but more of us are going to find out. And then and then as you get older, right, and you expand into higher and higher states of consciousness, you're able to receive more and more and more. There's no reason to think that this trend will ever cease, right? Just like when you were 2 years old, then when you were 5 years old, you understood more. When you were 10, you understood more. When you were 20, you understood way more than that. 30, 40, 50, etc. The only thing that limits the amount of caves that we could break through in the higher and higher states of consciousness is, number one, where we start off when we're born and where the collective conscious of the entire world is, or all of reality, more or less. So as I mentioned before, the singular conscious is one of the caves. There's also group consciousness and collective consciousness. So think about it like, all right, so think about in your own head, right? You have different moods, temperaments, feelings, points of view, theories, beliefs. All of them are kind of operating at the same time, weaving in and out of each other and conflicting with each other sometimes. Some voices or some beliefs are stronger than others. Some perceptions are stronger than others. Some are weaker than others. Some of them flip-flop back and forth. Things change as things go. So in your own mind, you are a collective of different thoughts, processes, emotional states, points of view, beings, more or less. Because depending on which one is driving at that point in time, which one is the dominant psychology in that moment, is your operating force. But it's all informed by all the other operating forces that are actively inside of you as well. That doesn't stop inside the singular person. That's just magnified by now there's 2 people in a room, 3 people in a room, 7 billion people in the world, et cetera, et cetera. And there are different layers of frequencies that all have their own bandwidth that we're operating on. And depending on where your vibrational state is in your mind is what you're gaining access to in your reality. And the collective consciousness feeds down and affects the singular consciousness, but the singular consciousness also affects the collective consciousness as well.